everybody. I'm going to come back to the topic of gay marriage one last time, just because my last video, it was my first video, and I feel like I've missed a few key points, and so I'm just redoing this, and then no more videos on gay marriage. I'll go on to other things. Okay, before I start this video today, I want you to know that I am not intending to pick out homosexuality because it's like a super mega bad sin. Because all sin is equal. And the sin of homosexuality is just the same as the sin of lying and sin of being cruel. Like cruel to people, cruel to animals, you know. But since the majority of the world still find lying and cruelty to be incorrect, I'm doing a video on gay marriage. Now by making this video, I don't mean to make you guys upset. I know a lot of you become upset because I have different opinions, but that's not why I make videos, just to rile people up. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying... I don't think that homosexuals are terrible or anything. I earnestly pray that all of you will find the love that God has for you and repent of all sins you face. I am again going to begin by stating that if you are a Christian, that probably means that you agree with what the Bible has to say. You don't just pick and choose what you wish to believe from the Bible, or else that would be highly hypocritical. Now, if you are a Christian and you believe in what the Word teaches, you can't honestly agree with homosexual marriage. Not because you hate homosexuals as a people, because you just don't like them, but because God condemns it to be a sin, and since by being a Christian you try your hardest to turn away from sin, you do not want to accept the lifestyle by granting the marriage. You can find proof to back this up, as God finds it wrong in Genesis, which is the first book of the Bible in the Old Testament, in case you don't know. Back when there were two cities named Sodom and Gomorrah, men started lusting after other men, among many other sins which were completely disgusting, and God wiped those cities from the earth. He removed those cities. So I'm assuming that God finds homosexuality to be a sin. It was not part of the original plan. God did not make Adam and Steve. You know, He made Adam and Eve. Also, as I said previously, in 1 Corinthians 6:9-10, it says that homosexuals shall not enter heaven. In later versions of the Bible, they changed the word to homosexual, but before then it was called effeminate, or abusers of themselves with mankind. Well, Paul's choice of words, Paul wrote the book of 1 Corinthians, well, Paul's choice of words allows for an application to the abuse of pederasty, which would mean sexual relations between two males, especially when one is a minor. In his day, the words actually denote a broader field of reference, including all men who have sexual relations with men. And he means men as in all of mankind, so lesbianism is also wrong. The assumptions that A, all sexual relationships are equal before God, B, Paul's descriptions are of excessive practices, and C, homosexuality is a biblically approved expression of sexuality, are completely illogical and necessary fundamentals to popular conclusion that Paul was discussing only abuses and homosexual behavior. Paul condemned all homosexual relationships in his vice list in 1 Corinthians 6:9, as he addressed the need for the Corinthians to judge those within their midst. So I hope that clears up some of the miscommunications people have on these verses. Alright, so now I've covered the fact that if you claim to be a Christian, you must believe in the Bible, which means you disagree with the life that homosexuals are living. If you claim to be a Christian who does not believe in the Bible, because I've come across a few of these, why are you calling yourself a Christian? Just because you believe in God? Where are your standards of morality coming from? The earth? Your mind? The earth is a sinful nation. If you simply believe in God, that doesn't mean you're a Christ follower. Even the demons believe in God. Satan believes in God. He knows. He's still trying to make as much sin as possible. You can't pick and choose what you want to believe from the Bible. I'm going to scoot you guys over here. Sorry, I'm holding you up and it's high. Okay. Now that I have all of Christianity covered, I will say this again. If you are not a Christian, I can't give you the apparently logical reasoning for why it is considered sinful. Since you base your morals and opinions on feeling rather than a set book, but which tells you everything you need to know, you can't choose to believe whatever you want. I'm simply reading something in this video for you to think about. Personally, I believe that in America, the government should not have the right to decide marriage between two individuals. I believe that should stay between the individual. The government does not really need to be involved in marriage. Why? Why do they need to be involved? What does it matter? But since they are, marriage should maintain a holy bonding between man and woman. Now, I've received many comments claiming that since apparently 50% of marriages become divorced, marriage isn't a holy bonding anymore, so what does it matter? Now, I look down on divorce, and God does as well, because I believe you're breaking a promise you made in front of your family and your friends and before God. You made a commitment to that person to love them till they die. And if they go back and just back out of that relationship because the feeling is lost, that is terrible. That's breaking a promise, breaking a commitment. They can work things out between themselves. Now, I understand how if they were abusive, how that you would divorce from them because they are hurting you. They're inflicting pain on you. That is not acceptable. But if you're just get tired of one another and wish to see other people, that's a dreadful reason, and they made a promise. So they're backing out for foolish causes. Just so you know, I am against any type of intimacy before marriage between any genders of people, regardless of their gender. A lot of people I know have made mistakes regarding their sexual integrity, and they've paid the price. God did say, be fruitful and multiply, but if you go around giving your love to just anyone, you're bonding with many different people, and you always come out hurt in the end. If you have sex before marriage, you're sinning, and God will punish you if you sin. No one sins and gets away with it. You might for a while, but it'll always come back to you. I'm not trying to say, ooh, threaten you, but if you don't repent of your sexual behavior, you'll get in trouble. Maybe not by an STD, maybe not by pregnancy. At the very least, once you guys break up, or he cheats on you, she cheats on you, whatever, you will be emotionally hurt by the relationship. You can't lie and say you're not. That would hurt. Okay. It's much better to just save yourself so you can go into a married relationship with no regrets for you or your partner. Lastly, many claim that there is a gay gene, which causes people to automatically be homosexual. Okay. So, God is perfect. God knows everything. He created everything. He is perfect. And since God finds homosexuality to be a sin, God wouldn't create someone who is born gay, because that would be saying that he's being hypocritical, which would be imperfect, and God is perfect. Now, people are all given their struggles in this life to overcome, and we all have our own battles to conquer. For some, this may be stealing. For others, they might be more inclined to being homosexuals because of their background, because of abusive relationships with either of the sexes, because they have been misconstrued. I don't mean like they're crazy. I just think they've been misguided in this world. But people aren't born with a stealing gene. I mean, if I stole something that got sent to jail, and I told them that it wasn't my fault because I have a stealing gene, do you think I'd get out of jail? No. that's about all the time I have. And I hope that clears things up for some people. And God bless you and have a wonderful day. Bye!